Okay, hello, I'm Crucify, it's just me. We have OGens Premier 1v1 OGens Premier League Week 1 recap, and some other stuff. So, dude, there's no logos above, that's crazy. Don't teams all have logos? Yeah, whatever. Um, Dude, that's crazy. This team really had 2 people sub. Okay, anyway, so, I'm gonna do a recap of Week 1 of the weeks and games, and then I have some other stuff that I'm gonna do at the beginning first. First, I'll do very quick PRs, rapid fire. I would say number one, the tier 1 teams. I'm not gonna do like. Actually, I'll do number 1, number 2, number 3, etc. at the end. But I would say Snorlax is number 1 because I mean this team doesn't really have any weaknesses besides maybe Cave and Dez and Jacob being washed and he's playing SMB07. But um, it's kind of reliant on Cave and Euphanos doing good after not playing for a long time, and then Potato Chan and Close showing up. And also Dez, but Dez wasn't that expensive anyway, so it's not a big deal. But they have some good steals in Gorilla Lit and Hungry Foodies in ADV. As long as Hungry Foodies like doesn't cancel or something, you'll be good. I expect Cave will have a lot of proof after being banned for like 2.5 years or 1.5 years, I guess, roughly. Even though he lost week 1, he had an unlucky series, which I'll mention later. But yeah, I think it's just a really good group of guys. But I think a lot of the teams are pretty close, especially at the top in this tour. I can't really say there's one team that's far and away better than the other. And I would say like there's 5 teams that are really close, and then ride-ons is what I would say. Just as like revealed that I think ride-ons are the worst, but yeah, I think they're the worst. But anyway, the other tier 1 team that I would say would be the Manaphies. This team is another team that also has very little weaknesses, except they have Chris, who's new but has shown quite a bit of promise, I'd say, between 2v2 and then some other stuff like what do you call it? Like Aura's Live Tours, he has some good showings, and I guess I think he won one. This team has good support for the most part. Black White Baki with Coffin Mob support, I guess. They have Logan on the bench, but I don't know how much help he is realistically. He's definitely help for ADV with Drip, and that's gonna be a strong slot for them, I'd expect. Yeah, I feel like I don't really have that much else to say. They're just solid players all around, I would say. And then tier 2, I would have. There's gonna be the Chomps and the Swallots. I would say the Chomps are on paper better, but okay. Number 1, the L Spicy thing I'll talk about after this PR segment. But I think on paper the Chomps have a better lineup than the Swallots. That's what I would say. I mean, starting just they had like yeah, Adam wasn't a starter, but like they have like Bomb, Toe Black White, or Pachusa, Torterra on the bench. When you look at that, it's like it's really weird. But I think these teams are really close. I think the Chomps, their issue is chat activity. Like they have Squirtle, Sancho, TSC, MREX. None of these people are like big talkers. There's like nobody on their team that's a big talker really. I would be really shocked if they had an active Discord. Good on them if they do, but I would be surprised. SS Sancho's interesting. Escaped Black White Prison. Yeah, he brought some exciting stuff week 1. They have the best SM in the tour. Just Squirtle and TSC are 2 of the best. This is non-World Cup TSC as well, so he's actually a good player. RSPA got farmed to this week, not gonna lie, but he should be fine going forward. They obviously drafted out Spicy. They had to put Super Mean Bros in, obviously. MX is like kind of an ADV grinder, I'd say. He also played in SOLT. So he should be okay. Should have beat Hungry Fruities this week, but he had to throw game 5. And then they have Spitfire, one of the few like DPP mainers, if you will. So they'll probably do good thing going forward. They had a interesting draw here. These 2 played in the DPP Cup finals, I think. Finals or semifinals, something like that. So, yeah. And then the Swallots. I'm also not gonna speak on any prices because the prices just are what they are. with how the auction happened. Prices inflate. I say that because Charm went for 18k, obviously, but I mean, it worked out for week 1. Bomb starting a team tour now is actually kind of crazy. He started uh, he started in World Cup and PL actually. It's not like he has no games, but seeing him be able to play now is pretty cool. I'm gonna turn this down a little bit, I think. Maybe not that far. Maybe you cannot hear it anymore. I don't know. It seems interesting. It's kind of reminiscent of Cat Girls. I'm sick by that. Nah, I'm sick by the way, so I'm kind of dying. It's reminiscent of Cat Girls because they have Earthgirl and Jabiro as managers. And then they drafted Kentari. So, yeah. It just feels like a very Cat Girl-esque draft. I think there's not that much to say about them. I think they have some weakness because they have Bomb in a team tour. It's like, it might be good in this team tour because people may be less prep heavy. So you can get away with stuff easier. Like, if people prep for Bomb, he's just not gonna win. Like, it's just how it's always been. But we'll see. Also, I talk about, I don't know. Their lineup changed for week 2. Also, it's a shrug. I would say Wooloo, and then Wooloo's also a tier 2 team actually. I forgot about them. Because, like, I think Whiteouts are just a tier below all the rest of them. And then Snorlaxes and Manaphy's are a tier above. But, yeah, Wooloo, honestly, their lineup's not bad. They have quite a bit of upside with their lesser expensive people like Xander, Rhea, Akros, Stravage all have pretty high upside. I say Akros after his series week 1 too, which was a tough series to say the least. Ecstatic in 2023 is kind of washed, not gonna lie. He's not like the 20k and then he's gonna go like 4-1 in this tour. I mean, he might go 4-1 still, but I would be pretty surprised if he didn't go like 2-3, honestly. Especially in the SMB07 pool. He has tough players to play like Squirtle. He has Potato Chance had his number a lot. Then I think Boat beat him last PL. Then he has to fight Lancer. So I don't know. I don't have that high of expectations for Ecstatic. Frosty won week 1, which is good for them. I think this team is just if like their Frosty Ice Slide EV Kid slots like do well, then between the rest of them, they should be able to win weeks. Delamont's obviously really good, even though he lost week 1. It's good support, good player, I think. Then so is Stravage. His team has a lot of building support actually. Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention for the Manavies, they have Board Glitch on the bench to help with like fragments. And Dennis to a lesser extent, and Chris maybe. Chris brought some Dookie though, so who knows. And then Ride-Ons, like they really like went for the bring new people into 1v1 and then play for fun aspect. It's like, man, man. I don't think any of their players played awful. I think some of their teams were suspect just as a whole. But if you just look at this roster on paper, like Lumi and Bandit are their big upside players. Rumi has like really fallen off since her like 8-2 year, I guess, back in 2020. And she's also not on US East where she always randomly goes 3-0. Even though that magic wore off this past World Cup. Like they have like Lasolo, who I don't really expect to win a game. They'll probably sub in one of their like 16 players that they have. Autumn's another one who actually think is subbed for Hero's Destiny this week, which I think is correct. I would have probably subbed in Kami PK, because Kami PK also has games played in games 1. And yeah, he just has a lot of experience, but I don't really disapprove of starting someone who's... Autumn is even really new, because Autumn's played like 14 games on a sheet or something. He's been around for years, so on the like Alice RPS teams back in the day. I don't know. I guess like a rekindling of her skill, I guess. I don't know. But I think Kali Piki and a Hero's Destiny are better slots. One of them I have to submit to DPP2 if you doesn't perform. Clearly a beast. I can't really I can't comment on. I can comment from their week 1 series, but anyway, that was rapid fire PRs. Let me write it. Let me write it out. I can't respond in this thread, which is tragic, but I can respond here, which is where I typed out this L spicy thing. Anyway, maybe. So 1, year 1, nor Alexis, 2, and year 2, 3, or Charles. Do I think Swallows or Wooloo is better? Swallows. That's not how you spell Swallows. That was with a W. Okay. Okay. I did a lot of scripting for this. Wooloo. Alright, those are official PRs. Anyway, I just thought I'd like, I just wanted to get this all in one place basically. What happened with the L spicy thing. So this was like really stupid, which I think James knows, and probably Nick knows as well. Like there's no proof of like Nick having involvement because this was mainly James talking and stuff. So I'd say it's about 50-50 whether he knows or not, but I don't know. He did start week 1, so it had to have been greenlit in some manner, but yeah, so that was basically, this was just like a really pathetic attempt to ult, honestly. Like, okay, so he joined February 20th, 2023, which is a week before auction. I can't look at his post because I'm not staff. But he had like, his posts were like signing up for like ORS mono and stuff. And then, so that's already like a major red flag for someone that's gonna start week 1, right? And like the starting week 1 is key, because if he was just on the bench and then maybe like played in more tours, and then like got like was more reputable and stuff, it would have been less like all eyes on them. So yeah, the PS account was made around the same time with no ladder games played in 1v1, which is like insanely sus. This I touched on. And they also used non-samples when trying out. The trying out thing is something that we'll get to for James' defense, but like these 3 are like insane red flags. Like insane red flags, especially when people have been being caught for ults. This is what I heard. Like there was at least 10 ults caught. This is like, you really think this is gonna work? You really think this is gonna work? Alright, anyway. So James like was just like, yo, whose ult was it? And then we went Discord. This is like just from my scrolling. I didn't scan the combos or anything. But he claimed L Spicy was new blood. And then he said L Spicy tried out, which he did. But he said he didn't remember what PS account L Spicy used when trying out. It was literally L Spicy was 3 Ys. And then the trial replays were public. You can just go look at. I'm gonna load. James. Should load this preemptively. Yeah, okay. So L Spicy. Where's James? L Spicy with 3 Ys. This is not a sample team. So like they literally just like did trials for the public. So like at minimum, this is just like extremely incompetent as a manager. Like why would you have your trial replays be public? Like what? Makes no sense. Like you obviously save replays, but public, dude. Oh my gosh. I think that's just like gross negligence. Having these be public, but that's also partially my opinion. He also tried to say it was either, he said like it has to be GGPW or Dom. Like any of them would make an ult that's 2023, and then it would be to go to him. And that they would try out for James and then play James and then play for James in Black White 1v1 in 2023. That's crazy. Like he kept saying like, I don't know how this isn't, like how was I supposed to know it was an ult? And I was like, are you kidding me, dude? Like if you really didn't know that it was an ult, then it's just like really incompetent. So, like I would say you should have his manager spot removed for this tour, like right now, just because of his defense. Like if he said nothing, he would have like more plausible deniability, I think. Well, maybe not nothing, but if he didn't elaborate on like this stuff, like if he knew like what the PS account was, didn't have public replays, like He didn't say this, he would have had a lot more plausible deniability. He said he has basically all the evidence point source that he knows, except for a definitive piece that would have him banned. But I still would ban him for incompetence, because, like, man, he's obviously not going to be allowed to manage again, whether he wants to or not. It doesn't even need to be said, but yeah. I just wanted to mention this, and then archive this in one place. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, anyway, I'll talk about week 2 at the end, probably. So I'm just gonna scroll through the thread. There's some decent predictions, like stacks were fine. I'm not gonna speak on what Joker did. He predicts, people, decent reasoning. Like, I don't know. So this is the first one towards in DPP. I think there's one game that I want to talk about here, which is the Select and Fernated period. Which is like, I don't know what that's for. Not gonna lie, I don't know what it's for. You should just run like cut step instead. I don't know what Select is for. I was like really thinking on what Select is for, but I like don't know. Like I don't know. That was strange. I think for DDP as a whole, like we'll get to some other games, but I mean Jirachi usage was obviously high. But I don't think the games were bad, honestly. But ugh. The tier just puts a bad taste in my mouth with how high Jirachi usage was. And like Zapdos too. That's how you should play the tier, because those mods are pretty broken. I don't know. I really don't think DPP was awful. There's some Gengars brought. Okay, yeah, this is like, come on. Ugh. Yes. This is so funny. This was also funny. I mean, when you have 16 people, one's gonna slip through the cracks. Anyway, so whatever, this is continuous PA. Frosty. Yeah, this was RNG. This was part one of the Rhydons getting quote unquote lucked, which is Archop's head smash miss, which is like, no. That's just how it is. I believe Rumia brought 2 Archops as well this series. Yeah. I mean, when you bring 2 Archops, it's like, no. Not 2 Archops. You have a good chance that one of them are gonna miss, so. I don't know. It's obviously unfortunate, but I believe in Frosty for Game 5. There's also a Wisp miss in this series, actually. I don't really know if this mattered. It's like that EQ did a lot. Might have 2 KO'd, I don't know. And if it was like Hyper Voice, it may have just not like 2 KO'd the Purd after 2 burn turns. So it might have just been a loss. But it's just an odds matchup anyway. It's just Willows was clicked and then it's Yawn. Rumi also got the first turn Wake. So if Rumi got the first turn Wake, if the Wisp hit, then Rumi probably won, but I don't know. I think Hyper Beam also won. I don't know. I'm not an expert, but that's just what happened. Then Charm beat Dennis in 7. The series was cool, I think. There was a roll like, well, we'll get to it. I'm gonna open this and I'll click through it, because I mean it's the best of 7. It's the best of 7 that went to 7 games. So Dennis brought this team multiple times this series. Spoiler. Charm, this is something that I've used before and given to my teammates. An interesting game. The Spidef drop might have been key. Maybe, I don't know, maybe Charm could have CM'd just again. It was also slower after the Glaciate. So maybe this was just waiting for Dennis, but I don't know. It was probably just waiting for Dennis. Last race got brought, it's cool. I'm actually not going to play all the game. I'm just going to look to see Toxicity progress. Oh yeah, this is a game where we saw Moringa beat up Magnezone. I don't think that's the reason to ban Togekiss. That's just something you accept when using Magnezone to beat Toge. It's been like that since like World Cup 4, so I don't know. I don't think that's sufficient reasoning. I wouldn't mind Toge being banned, but I don't think it really has to be. Let's see. Yeah, this is the Mental Herb Prim beating Wims. What is Mental Herb for besides Wims? I think it might be for other Prim as well. So here's the game where there was a roll. This is like Zapdos has a really good matchup. And then Heatwave just like did not kill Scarf meta. That was probably not a good roll for Charm. I would guess it's like 60% in Zapdos' favor at least, but happens. in this game, yeah, it's not bulk up superpower, which is interesting, I guess. Not really, I think the Urshifu might have been was into kind of everything. I don't know. I don't know what the Aussie set. If I knew what the Aussie set was, it would be easier. But it might have been the Celesteela counter. It might have been the Question counter. Might have been the best pick in this. Even though I think Glacier Kyurem should probably win. But I don't know. If I knew full sets, I would be able to speak better. I don't think that play was bad though. Yeah, the Charm won a close series. This is a cool series to watch, honestly. And Xander beat Licello. I think there was like maybe a Hexa game. Didn't crit that game. Let's see. Maybe game 2? Let's see. No, this was Xander being raw. That was a raw Lucky, I think. It was a good attempt to go Feeny there. Oh yeah, game 4. I remember this game now. Okay. Like, so it's Toxic Tech versus some Scale Shot Lando. Good SD by Licello. And he gets 3 hits. And he gets 2 hits here. So it's like red alert. That's like pretty bad odds to get 3 into 2. And then Scales, because, I mean, it's kind of the play you should make. And then Sub. Sub is kind of iffy there. But I don't know the exact odds. Going for double tech might have been better. I think going for double tech, I don't know. I don't know the odds. If the chances of getting 2 are better than the chances of double teching, the double teching was, I mean, subbing was better, but pretty sure the chances of getting 3 are better than the chances of, what am I saying? I don't know, I'm pretty sure it's better odds to go for double tech there. Because I'm pretty sure Scale Shot getting 2 hits is like 25%, double tech is 33%. But he does have the miss chance for Scale Shot too. But he has that miss chance with tech anyway if he fails to double tech. So shrug. I don't remember anything notable from the series. Oh yeah, there's the Relicanth game. This is like not a good matchup for Relicanth. Like, I'm sorry, like you got the second turn wake, but there's also the burn odds. But Fragments could have just lost right then and there. It's kind of a sussy attempt to see team, honestly. Like, we saw Specs Whimsicott bring, which is like, what? Not really sure. I think it's decent versus him, though. He beats, like, Gastro, Hydreigon, and stuff. And it's like a lure. I don't know. Adjup Legend, here this game 3. Where she apologized for. Alright, bye! In this game, we saw, like, Marshmallow missed a Hydro on turn 5. There was something like, if he hit this one, he could have Rain Danced, I believe. If he hit this one, he could have Rain Danced. And then it was a win, I think? But I think it's a 50-50. Let's say turn 5 is a hit. Is a hit. Let me go back to turn 5. Hydro, if this hits, Seism Toss happens. And if there's no sub versus no sub here, then Marshmallow can Rain Dance. Yeah, I guess that did actually matter, but you have to hit 4 Hydros to win this game, so actually 5, because your Legend has another sub. Hitting 5 Hydros, it's like, you're not gonna hit 5. Like, mathematically, you should not hit 5, so, yeah. That miss did matter, it seems. But 1 out of 5 misses is not really hacks, I would say. Earphones 1 in DPP. Hungry Foodies 1 versus MREX. I think MREX knows what I was in this, but yeah, I really want to go through all the chokes that happened this week. I think ADV was decently cool until the last series. So I'll get to. Yes, Chansha brought some cool stuff. The stuff one's like not good, but yeah. You guys saw like Mandibles Aegislash like we're in 2020. We saw Togu to Mario with the most obvious Zero layer, but Zero was also Gorilla's only picking the Slowbro, and unfortunately got the crit. So that was unfortunate. Okay, now I can talk about Oras. Oras was kind of a train wreck this week, I would say. I think the teams bro were just subpar. I think from everyone except for Urpurgo and kind of Lit, teams were all subpar in RS. Like this team is like, man, this is like really fish, like, really fish team. Probably banned Grand. I would say. I also don't know how you don't go Medi here. Like, who doesn't Medi? You're scared of Gera? Also, that was custom mana. Custom mana here is like so strange. You lose to every steel type. I don't know. Like, custom mana just loses to every steel type. I don't know why that was the choice there. I've used mana Metagran, but it was stall mana band Gran. It's like a hybrid of Derek Squad and Mexican God Squad. I don't know what many really accomplishes. I guess if you're custom mana, it sure as a matchup, but let's stop analyzing. It's like just a whole lot of ugly was used in RS. Let's see. I won't go too in depth. This series, I guess I should go through all the way because there's another best of 7 that went to 7. Alright. So Bo Bobson vs Delamon, 2 new players. We saw a crit happen here. It turn 7, like Ecstatic almost called it, but it was turn 6. Pretty lucky crit, I'd say. But no. You're crazing a Stalmon, it's just like how it is. We have Sobo versus Gyarados. This is like a DPP. I would use this in DPP, I'd say. Like Ripe Gyara. Ripe Gyara is a really good core. Zapdos is broken. It's improved. Ripe Gyarados is pretty cool. Lost if there was a dodge. There's also no citrus on Sobo, which I found interesting. Makes me wonder what item it was. Let's see. We saw Dominic Johnson helmet Moltres come out. I think Bobobs maybe should have MP'd again. Maybe I'm wrong. I think I'm wrong. I think he just needed to finish there. Smackdown. So this man's blue. He bought this next game too. This is like quote unquote. This is a good blue actually. Even though, wait, no, it did win. Okay. I thought it lost for a second, but it did not. What happened here? Oh, it got taunted in the second, got disabled, right? Yeah. That was a good blue because it's probably stall crest for aggro on there. That was a good play. In this game, like, oof, you see the sound of its magic though? It basically only loses to Balloon Tram, which his team probably loses to if it's Balloon Wisp. And then a Bulk's aggron, but unfortunately for Bo Bobson. First, this wasn't Balloon, but second, he just didn't have Outrage. Like, if this was like a Scarfman's, oof, super GG. But it was Lorb, unfortunately. And yeah, there's this idiot in the battle chat who said why he ran. And Potato rightly found on him. This is probably AB, I would say, because it's not Specs damage. If it was Specs damage, that was like max of Tram, Salamence. But I wonder what that was for. Maybe Life Orb you need to KO bulk of Zero or something like that. I don't know. It's interesting. Bobosm normally has interesting sets. And Bobosm just got the game 5 pick right. And Metagross is both. So I lost his both, but won as Delamon. Metagross the boss. Decent series. Marky versus Toll. Is there anything notable here? Not really. I helped in the teams. I didn't like Hard Food though. That's helped. Let's see. Okay, we have another ORS. This is like, yep, this is like the series that made me just go like, dude, ORS is bad. Like, ORS is so bad. This team's fine. I like both of these teams actually. This was a good zone from Nubs. Or from their final. This is kind of an obvious lob, where lob's really scary for him. Balloon zone's kind of cool. Not too sure what it's for here exactly, but it's cool. Because with Slowbro beats most of the ground types. Maybe it's for a special mod that I'm not considering. Still cool to see. Then we have this Heat Rambler team. The Mubs has Metagross counter Metagross. And then he did not defeat opposing Metagross due to it being Power Punch. That was unfortunate. Probably Brick Zard. Might have been HP Ground Guard though. Dude, because there's no Zard Y anymore. With us. Oh wait, no. What am I saying? I don't know. I was gonna say there's no Zard Y for Slowbro, but he has a guard. But he's probably just Brick Zard for Tran. And then yeah, Earth just brought solid teams. Just like Zard, Venu, is solid. And then Mubs brought loose to Zard. But guard is like pretty good versus it in 2023 because you have Trick Room and then you have just like 50-50 with Icy Wind Encore. But he didn't pick guard. He picked counter guard and then didn't consider that DD is always the play. So he lost. So yeah, I don't know. I think when you're down 0-2, you bring a Zardler and your opponent has Zard, you have to click it. And if Gengar was the Zardler, you shouldn't use Gengar as a Zardler. Yeah. I don't know, that wasn't great. Not a great showing from Ups. Good showing from Earth though, I would say. Let's see, Cave, yeah. I think this series was like, I think Cave kinda got out-prepped. Dude, Autumn brought this team in ORS, I just realized. It's not really out-prepped. Petran 3-0'd this game, but just missed. I'm pretty sure you're supposed to mock his comp, but I don't think it matters. You do. So yeah, Urpachu's had the sub out, and then the blurb went in. I think my criticism for this series was Gengar got brought twice. And like, Gengar is like really not a good mod, I think. Like, if you look at all the mods, Gengar, if it was Energy Ball, which it was not, it relied on tried to hit a Focus Blast, I guess, which it did. It didn't kill. If it was Energy Ball that killed Ripe, like, it beats Clef, I think, or it should be Clef. Then, it doesn't beat any Pokemon on the screen here because of Mirror Code on Coon. And then, doesn't beat any mons. Oh, it beats Gara with T-Bolt and Guff again. But yeah, I beat like 3 mons total in this 4-game series, which is not good, I would say. In this game, Kingdra kind of 3-0s, but it's only kinda because Raikko's a sus matchup for it, and T-Tar's actually a sus matchup for it sometimes with counter. Like, taunt into counter can just win. I don't know if that's the set that they want to run right now, though. I would still run it, but it's because it's taunt counter T-Tar and an old gen. Here, this is also like Zapdos counter Zapdos. I don't know. This was Wakon Kun. I don't know how you don't pick Wakon Kun here. So like, this game is pretty questionable to me. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see. In the last game, yeah, this is Tonkara winning. GG's. I think in general in DPP, we saw in the Stravin series, but Special Draw she was doing quite well. So I expect we'll see more of it. We'll see more adaptation to it. Maybe more T-Tars with their Custat. More Ripes. I don't know. But there's Shuka, so Ripe's not great. I don't know, maybe we'll see some Scarf presses again. Which I still think is good. Like, if you look at Scarf press versus all of these teams, it's solid except for versus Clef. I don't know, let me just see how DPP develops, because it's been so long since we've seen it. Alright, Nick versus Close. These guys have obviously played each other a lot. And this was a close series, no pun intended. I saw a lot of 50-50s in this series. Like, this is a 50-50. This game, I think, is the only game close misplayed because it seems he didn't have counter on Gastro or something. He just loses. If you have counter, you click it. If you have ID, you should also click it turn 2. So, I think that was just a misplayed game from close. I also think if you're not counter ID, you should probably pick a different mod. Unless Seleki isn't a Dharm beater. If Seleki's not a Dharm beater, then you pick Gastro into Dharm, I guess. I don't know. I think that was the only game that I found strange. This game, dodge, but it doesn't matter. Nick goes up 2-1, I believe. We have the acid armor, or not acid armor, sap zipper. Where Rude, which worked out. Nick might have not been able to do anything about that. Toke might have lost. He also might not have expected it on this team. I don't. It's kind of hard to read Crest with Lazu. You can both run a lot of sets, especially when AG patches up a lot of defensive weaknesses for it. So it's a nice team from close. And this game was like the most expected Chomp versus Chomp ever, I think, in close one, making it 2-3, with close having 2, Nick having 3. In the game 6, this gets 3-0'd by Landorus. Or maybe it didn't get 3-0 by Landorus? Hold up. No, right, he needed a double text. Otherwise, he was 3-0'd by Landorus. SmackDown. And yeah, there might have been some roll stuff happening. I don't know. Maybe with the heavy slam roll could have changed the game. That's a good series from Nick, I would say. It's an entertaining one to watch as well. Beat doesn't 3 a few games. Yeah, I'll look at this series. TFC getting rolling early is good for the Chomps. Yeah, so we see Orbig Zygarde, which is funny. And then that's to say he's stall Sableye, which is funny. He also chose that he's Scarf on Shaman. No HPS, unfortunately. I don't know if HPS helped. It probably did. It definitely did. This HPS is 4 times. He did hit 2 Seed Fires, which is pretty insane. But yeah, Orbig Zygarde has done it. And this game was just 50-50. Let's get outplayed. And then this game, we see a Mega Bayonet spotting. And we see a Phantom Force. And a crit. It was most likely sneak. And then, let's see. He showed that he's like 248 HP. Like, I think. I mean, surely you have sneak, no? Like, I don't know what beta runs, but. And oh my gosh, you have this series. This is what I classify as a new BDB series, because I think Tauros is kind of a new spawn BDB. Like, you look at a lot of teams, and then you look like, ooh, Tauros kind of nice here. Like, you know, if I was banned, I'd just kill Breloom. You know, I can Toxic, try to stall out Kingdra, dodge some Hydros, and I just beat Entei, you know? Like, this is what you think, right? Then you're not banned, then you're the wrong set versus Breloom, so you lose to a nice SD. So yeah. We did see, I think we saw an acceptable amount of Raikou and ADV this week. Raikou is super broken. I think we should have seen more Marowak as well. We'll see how meta develops going forward. And we see a crit this game, which is classic ride-on luck. Yeah. Classic. All the ride-ons claim that they got hacks this series because of the game 5, then forgot about this game. This game, see, this is Tauros winning versus Banpert. I don't know why it's Banpert there, honestly. I feel like you could run a lot of different stuff there, and in that slot as well, but shrug. Let me see Glissy, which is a good core, along with the Broken. See another Tauros, obviously, because that was the series. Yeah, Toxic Tauros is just winning every game. You see a Patea Gyarados, which I don't know what it's for, but it's kind of interesting, I guess. Maybe good for Ban Tauros, because you kind of do 0 damage. I don't know. Then the game 5, we see slow sub Scope Lens Raikou faces a Ban Tauros, but he gets the Thunderbolt Para. So GG's. This was lost to like Patea Thunder, I think, maybe. So yeah, this did suck. However, yeah, I mean, he also had crit odds, and like Leah beats crit game too. So I would say just even in RNG. Sorry for me to mismarry. Yeah, okay. I have to watch open all the games in the series because PA got raw 3-0'd by Metagross Mega. Because like people think that's like custom Manaphy's the Scepter, I guess. It's really strange. Like Stall's a set that like makes it really good. Like custom just to learn for ones that beat the Stall. I don't know. I think it's seeing too much usage and Stall isn't seeing enough. Like, wow. Metagross 2-1 never loses, but yeah, it seemed it was a 3-0 this game. In this game, Lit apologized for. Lit said that he was bold, so if it's Scarf Gonk, it just like doesn't really kill. So, fuck. If it was banned, then obviously mattered. But unfortunate. I really don't like PA's team here. Like, I don't know, bro. Like, no fire type teams I think are always sus. There's no fire, no water. I don't know. Like, people were just like, I think in general are forgetting an RS that Zard and Vic and Tran are just good mods. You can see PA bring an old Solar Flare team here. Unfortunately, he gets formed by Stall DOS with Iron Defense. Peaberry, by the way. Cool. The Jacob Tech. Common the XSW, correct. That was a really good first series from Lit. I don't think I have anything to comment on for these SM Best of 7 series. The answer played better, I would say. There was like a weird game that happened. Let's see. Yeah, we saw Curse Venu being broken. Odd Curse Venu. Is it this game? Yeah, this game is like... maybe Bo was just 3-0'd by Kiram, but this is like a terrible matchup for Bo, because Zera and Kiram are both really threats. But like, we saw Pinsir come out here, which is like, I don't really know why. I think it wins if it's Kiram that is only EV to outspeed, like 328 for Zard, but Pinsir's 339, so it outspeed. So that might have been that, but I don't know. Not a good matchup for her, so yeah. And like everyone was saying like Lance should lose to Zard, but I mean Kiram can win, Zera can win a Draconian. Shrug. Definitely Kiram the Zard answer though. Cause like yeah. Cause he picked it. Squirtle like really owned Jacob this series, just picked every game. And then got like a 3-0 game 4. Yeah, 3-0 with Vocal Rona. Because, like, yeah, the Italian God Squad loses to Vogue. I think, like, Potato said, yeah, dang, that's max special attack Vogue. And then when he lost this one, which is like, I guess. And yeah, he was defeated. It's a tough start for Jacob, but I expect them to right the ship. I also expect Squirrel to keep rolling. Adam versus Waylay. So Kantari had to sub out. Like the old men on the Squalls had to sub out Kantari and Erpachusa. But unfortunately for them, even though both of their subs won, Blurps and the other guy, Adam. So this game, you have the freest Zard of all time, but it's Zard Y. And then it gets the Air Slash Finch turn 1, showing why Zard Y is good. And then it's not Megatar, and he's Solar Beamed, which is like, that's a real play. He did a Megaturn too. I don't know. I guess it was Rockium Tar, I assume. Wow. Yeah, Rockium Tar has to be a sus Zard answer. I don't know. That was a funny game. Really Lux game 1. This game looks a lot like a Celestial 3-0. In this game, okay, I'm just gonna let this play in normal speed. So we see guard, the serve counter picked. Hyper voice. See attacked. No CM Among Us. And then waylaid. We see Anthony Davis say this, and then the sub happens on the hyper beam. No, that was a pretty insane play by Waylaid. So that was well played until he missed. Everyone was saying dodge in the chat. No, he did dodge. So yeah, I agree with this because what happened game one and now this. But yeah, happened this game. I think this is a 3-0 by Aegislash. Yeah, it's the Aegislash. GG. In game 5, this is like a 50-50 maybe. It's like Naga on Pharaoh, and like Zera on the other two maybe. I don't know. I don't know sets. There's acid downpour. I like didn't even know that. Acid downpour is interesting. Why not fire? I don't know. Yeah, Adam emerged to slay Waylaid in a clean series because Luck was traded. Okay, Louis versus Akros. So first, number one, we have to look at the screenshot. Yeah, I'm in the 9 was in fact saying this while like turn 0 when Lumi's timer was running till like 30 seconds. So yeah, I said this after the game, so I was not actually ghosting. But yeah, I'm in 9 definitely ghosting. So yeah, Lumi was in fact getting ghosted in the OGPL Premier League. Yeah, I'm just gonna look at the series game by game just cause like I just gotta. It's also just some teaching moments here. So game 1, see, let me bring Togute because the series over. CQ. Then it's custom HP Ice. It was HBerry Chomp, but no one there on the HBerry Chomp. HBerry for easiness. Yumi also said that she had dual Chomp after the game, so it would have been a 50-50 within their zone. Let's see, this game. Pongo's picked with Dice Overheat. We see a Fire Gem, which is interesting. Because like you're not too worried about press tricking you when you're in Dark Pulse, as Specs does. So, fair play. The series, we see this roll happened, which is unfortunate. Max HP Volk is so weird actually. Max HP no def seems so strange. Maybe that is what they run, because if you're Chardy, you just run spin def for Latios and like speed benchmarks special attack. So yeah, unfortunate for Lumi. But got payback this game, which I'll let play normal. So say Snorlax gets picked. Then Lumi subs turn 1, which is correct, after she thinks for 4 minutes. You sub because of Custap Belly Drum, and you don't want to have to double tech for your win con by teching turn 1, and you don't have another real play because you don't want to die to Band Kicker or something like that. So sub is safe, that lets you scout, then you get the tech turn 2. Then so at this point Lumi's thinking, okay, nice, I win. But this turn, Akros gets Curse, which basically means GG if he has another move, because he just spams Earthquake. Then he subs anyway. This is just conditioning, because you have to tech here. Or like, here you have to Tox. Because if you Tox any other turn, you just die to like Fire Punch or Return anything. So you have to Toxic here and hope he chokes, which does happen. In this matchups, you should always just spam Earthquake. Because if you just Earthquake like one more time, and then he has the sub, then it's gonna be in Fire Punch range, and you just have no threat. But instead, this game ends up coming down to a double text. We have text here. Custap is gonna go off here, but it doesn't matter because Lumi has double text, and can't stop anyway. There's no decision here actually, Brandon. Yeah, Lumi gets double tech, which pays back the last game, so that's cool. Yeah, that was just like a learning moment for these. We're playing versus subtech mons. which I'm sure will definitely come into play in other games, and one of the old gens. Then Akros brings a team that's just 3-0 by Conk, unless Spec Psychic Gen, or Helmet Gen, which you saw in the Cave series that I didn't show. But, Lumi could also just pick Arcanine, because picking Chomp when Conk 3-0's used is kind of tough. But it's just kind of a 50-50. I still think Akros is just 3-0'd by Conk. Excuse me. Yeah, we see Superpower not kill. It is a roll. And then, yeah, Akros just like has to double in there to win, and then didn't get it. It's probably YH. Then maybe YH, and then hope that they Ice Punch, which they shouldn't do because they Ice Punch is a choke versus YH, Yachi. Yeah, Akros either pulled over the team 3 by Conk, or didn't pick the Conqueror. I respect not picking the Conqueror because it also just Arcanine, but shrug. Also half-jokingly said that Reflect type Latias is also possible here because they can mid-ground into like Spike Shen and Chomp, but shrug. Anyway, he did get banned years ago. Then, let's see. I have a couple games that I have to go through here, I guess. This was after the week was over, same with the Lumi series. Because, let's see, who was last one? Forget. Oh yeah, the Eevee Kid series ended the series. Otherwise, they would have tied. Yeah, this game we see a Sleep Powder Vino outspeed PZ, which I'm pretty sure it just does by going timid. So I think PZ runs like 280 speed or something. In this case, it was a lot slower, according to what Ecstasy was saying in the chat. I think the rest of the series wasn't that eventful until this game, where we see a forced Toad Mirror, and then Elo Bandit's faster and tries to pair punch down, which I'm pretty sure is incorrect. I'm pretty sure you go for PP stall first, and then go for the pair punch. But instead he goes for first, and then has to engage. He still leaves enough air slashes to kill, but Ecstatic losing this is like really crazy. He just like didn't get full parried. Because you want to be full parried in this match because it's just coming down to pairs. Like, I don't know. 128. Just keeping track. Like, even when I'm Ecstatic got like flinched a lot to start the game, which makes it just like really crazy how he lost this. Like he got flinched so many times, but has less PP. It's like California luck. But that was unfortunate game 6 for Ecstatic. Never once lucky. I don't need to pull up the game that he played versus Derek in World Cup 4. But I know every time that Ecstatic is lucky, he just says like, for the first time in my life, I rely on luck to win series. And he's like said that multiple times. Which is funny, but yeah. Has to look at holistically. So 2 ties week 1. Lulu on top. Maidon's only team that lost. Unfortunately. And then I don't know if I'm gonna do predicts. Some highlight games, Dennis vs Close, obviously. It's a banger. Always is. Drip versus Hungry Food is probably the ADB highlight of the tour, I would say. Or one of them at least. See what's here. These SM matchups are funny. Interesting. I think both dodge Bandit, but Toll has a history of being Bandit. Bo versus Charm's gonna be cool. We see some unsets. This series should be good. We see Torterra X back in the lineup, which bolsters his fall standings in my opinion, because I think he's one of their better players. I don't think any other. Yeah, okay. Eevee can sub out for Tom. He's the only other roster change. Let's see. Any highlights here? Ecstatic versus Squirtle's Fire. Law versus Nyx Fire. Yeah, there's some matches to look at. I don't know if I'll do predicts though. Anti-shout out for Tom Numbers for saying Jump Legend has not touched a tier in a while. I don't know what that means. It's probably touched a tier the same amount as most people have. So, yeah. Thanks for watching.